All right, this video is for you if you are a busy business owner, if you're a CEO or an executive and you don't have a lot of time, but you know that you need to make consistent content all the time so that you stay top of mind, that you build your personal executive brand and make sure that you get in front of the market and stand out from the noise. So I'll make this video super quick, and I know that I don't want to take a lot of your time today. So we're just going to dive right into it. So the consistent thing that you need to create is content. How do you do that? Well, you're already on calls, you're already in your team meetings, you're already doing content every single day. We just got to document that. Okay. So I put together a list of gear and content that you need. You could even use your iPhone and use a $10 mic system from Amazon. I put a list together that you could download in the link below. I have all this gear under $500 or all the way up to $5,000, whatever you want to do. You want to make sure that you're actually creating content, whether it's on your iPhone or whether you're using a camera like this. Now, this camera costs about like $1,000 or less than $1,000, and you could buy it from Amazon. I put it in the list as well. You could also use gear like this because audio is more than 50% of your video. So I'd rather listen to a video that has great audio than it actually looking good. So you could actually use your phone and use a $20 wireless Bluetooth mic system, or if you want to upgrade your quality, use this. Now, what do you do with the content? Number one, you want to be documenting always. So maybe you're putting together like a keynote video, or you're doing a presentation or a webinar, or maybe you're doing some online training or anything like that, right? Maybe you're a coach, a keynote speaker. Maybe you have some topics that you talk about throughout the month, vision, values, all those things. You want to set up your camera while you're giving and delivering your most authentic speech or your talk. You want to be authentic and you want to show and demonstrate that you know what you're doing. And you're probably already talking to a small crowd or a big crowd, who knows? But you want to make sure that you're recording high quality content, making sure that the audio is legible, that you could actually hear it, audible, I mean. So right now I'm using an SM7B and I'm connected to a Rodecaster mic, and this is kind of like my setup. So I could zoom out here and you can kind of see, I have the Rodecaster Pro here. I have my mic set up here. I have my FX30 here, so it's like crispy quality. I also added some lighting, softbox, and some lights in my studio so that I could deliver this content that it's going to be received really well. So if you have any questions about setup and all that stuff, feel free to reach out. But what do you do afterwards? Let's say you shoot it and you get really good at that, okay? Now, you could do two things. You could either hire someone on your team in-house, or have someone like an intern or someone to edit the content. So they'll just take the content, they'll edit it for you. You could use websites like Fiverr or Upwork, which I don't really highly recommend because it's not consistent to the branding and all that stuff. And, it just communication might get lost, but you want something dedicated. You want someone that's actually dedicated to making that content. So you could hire someone for like 15, 20 hours a week, right? Starting at like $15 an hour here in the States. But if you really want to get cost effective, I would highly suggest hiring a creative virtual assistant. Now, we run a recruiting program. So if you're interested in hiring a creative virtual assistant, they start between $5 to $7 an hour, and they can start working minimum 20 hours a week to 40 hours a week full time. It's totally up to you. But what they're doing, because you're filming yourself, you could send them the content and they will edit it all together and make you look really, really sharp and format it in a way for social media. So if you're going to do Instagram Reels, if you're going to do LinkedIn posts, right, they could take your content, they could actually turn them into even blogs and articles if you'd like. They could probably even make short form content, long form content, podcast content. They could chop it up. But hiring a virtual assistant overseas has been a game changer for my business because it keeps the cost low and effectivity super high. And the cool thing about it is that when you're going to sleep, it's daytime for them. So they're like working on stuff. So when you wake up, you get fresh content the next day. So if you want more information about that, please reach out, hit me up. But I hope this helps, and I'm trying to make this as quick as possible. So if you have any questions, download the guide. I have a whole gear list. It is a Google sheet. So go ahead and click on that. If you need any information about creative VAs or anything like that, go to hirecreativeva.com or DM me, message me, get a hold of me, put time on my calendar, and we'll talk soon. All right, see ya.